This is my third video in a series of where I start from nothing on a brand new free-to-play NIKKE account. I'm using my experience of playing for over a year now to make these videos to help new players navigate the game, progress optimally, and relearn everything I've forgotten when it comes to the struggles of playing as a new player. In this video, I'm going to talk about story mode, my strategy for breaking the 160 wall on this account, and talk a little bit about Anomaly Interception as well. So last year, story mode was added to the game as a way to prevent players from being time-gated from story content. This was an amazing quality of life feature for anyone who hadn't been able to catch up on the normal campaign, since it is something that takes a long time to clear, especially now that we have 46 chapters. When I dove into story mode on my main account for the first time, I was only a handful of chapters behind my normal campaign progress, so an obvious advantage of story mode flew right over my head. Starting NIKKE's normal campaign is a pretty smooth and easy experience for the first dozen chapters or so, and you'll get enough rewards to progress for a few hours on just the first day without much struggle. But eventually, everyone is going to hit a wall, and this is where the advantage of story mode comes into play. Whenever you clear specific parts of a chapter, and even the chapter itself, whether it be story mode or normal mode, you complete a challenge in the main tab where you would go to claim rewards for dailies and weeklies. These challenges will award you with currency you need to level up, gems, and gear, and the amounts you receive increase the further you progress. Story mode encounters cap at around 10,000 combat power, which means you can clear all 46 chapters of story mode with a team of very low level NIKKEs. After I hit a wall on my alt account at around chapter 18, I went and completed all of story mode. When I claimed all of the rewards, I was able to get all of my NIKKEs to about level 140, and I was also able to get a lot of tier 9 manufacturer gear. Now I have to say that it still takes a very long time to go through the story mode and claim all of these rewards, unless you want to skip the entire story. Ultimately, it is up to you how you want to play, but I would highly recommend taking your time to experience the story through story mode, rather than rushing through it just to get a head start. If you really do want to blitz through the story, you can watch it again in the archives. But if you're like me, you'll take one look at all the story you've skipped and be like, wow, that's just too much story for me to watch. I'll do it later. And then you never get around to it. Anyways, it's time to catch you guys up on the account progress that I've made. I just completed chapter 22, and I'm currently working on chapter 23, but also, I've had some pretty exciting pulls since the last video. I managed to pick up Star Anise, Snow White Heavy Arms, Nayuta, Mint, and the Maid Duo, which are all crazy pulls to be honest. This sets me up to have an extremely strong campaign team. I'll have the Maid Duo for the Elysian Tower, and I'll have the Idol Duo and Star Anise for the Tetra Tower. So now that I've cleared chapter 22 of the normal campaign, I now have access to Anomaly Interception. One thing that gets asked a lot when players unlock Anomaly Interception for the first time is if it's worth it to stop doing full clears of Interception EX and start doing Anomaly Interception, even if they're only able to take off a single health bar. The answer is yes. The rewards are better, and you'll just learn a lot more about the fights and which units you have that you can use to tackle them. Anomaly Interception is all about elemental advantages. To progress far, you're going to need very optimized DPS units with good supports. This usually means that your DPS need 8 good overload lines, and 4 of those need to be elemental damage. Now that's the end goal here, and it will take a long time for you to get all 5 of these bosses down to 0. So for the first few months, keep your focus on building your best units for campaign, and just use them for your Anomaly Interception team. Also, I mentioned elemental advantages are the key for Anomaly Interception. Well, that's true for your enemies as well. Any NIKKE that you use that is the weak element will take triple damage, which will usually just mean that they get one shot. You can work around this a bit with careful play, but 9 times out of 10, you're just gonna want to use a completely different unit. And for the last tip, don't get tunnel vision on doing one boss. They all have slightly different loot tables, and they're all important. One thing to note about Kraken specifically is that it will not give you any manufacturer gear, whereas the other 4 will give you a specific piece, but also boxes of random manufacturer gear. So as soon as you unlock Anomaly Interception, just dive in and do the best that you can. But now I've arrived at the dreaded 160 wall, and I've gotten here way faster than I expected because of story mode. I have my wishlist set up to get dupes of units not including pilgrims. I've seen people suggest putting pilgrims you already have on your wishlist to help break the 160 wall, and I think that's a little bit insane. It's way more important to accumulate strong pilgrims and overspecs that you don't already have. But in addition to the wish list, when you level a unit to 141 for the first time, you get a capsule with a bunch of different spare bodies you can choose from. You should save this for when you need to MLB one of the units that you can choose from. It doesn't have every unit in the game, but it does have quite a few that you will definitely have already. So now here's the question that a lot of players have that I don't think has a correct answer. Do you pull on the standard banner to break the 160 wall faster? If yes, then how much do you pull on it? The answer depends on how patient you are, and when you've hit the wall also matters a bit too. First, I'll talk about why timing matters. The anniversary and half anniversary are massive injections of pulls, and they will even give you 4 copies of a new unit, so a free MLB SSR. These units usually suck, but that doesn't matter. We're just interested in having the MLB unit. Now, the 4th anniversary is still several months away at the time of this video's release, so you'll probably break the wall before then. Also, there are times of the year where we can expect some extremely powerful banners to roll around. In addition to the anniversary banners, NIKKE has very strong unit banners in January and July. Collab banners also tend to have units that are great, and they're extremely unlikely to ever rerun. So all of that is to say, if you're at the wall and one of these banners is coming up, then make sure you have some pulls and mileage saved up. So now let's talk a bit more about the standard banner. There are a ton of very powerful NIKKEs in the game that are available here, so there is merit to doing multi-pulls with gems to get them and their dupes. You'll also get points for bonus recruit, and with the addition of favorite items, silver mileage is quite valuable nowadays. So what exactly am I going to do? At the time of this recording, the only potential banners that I want to save up for are the Persona collab ones, and we don't have an exact date on when they're going to arrive. I also don't know anything about their kits, but I do expect that at least one of them will be worth picking up for new players and veteran players. And I have enough gold mileage to grab a copy of someone. So with all of these factors considered, I'm just going to pull as much as I have to on the standard banner to break the wall as soon as possible. Do I recommend that others do the same? Honestly, I don't know. But I did make this account to try to progress as fast as possible, so that's what I'm trying to do. Whatever you decide to do, just know that the wall will break eventually, and in the long run, it's not going to set you back as much as you might think it will. So yes, I do think it pays off to be patient with your pulls. Anyways, guys, please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!